so weird. I've been working in education in so many different areas in education, working with kids from newborns to adults. And then I work with adults with disabilities, all types of things, all types of education, early childhood, elementary, middle school, high school, and stuff. And I'm starting to really see why when I meet so many people that are adults, because like I'll meet adults with like special needs, I'll meet adults without special needs. And it's really sad. Like, people underestimated them. They never taught them how to cook or clean or anything because people just didn't want to teach their kids those things. So then when they're adults, they don't have those skills, which is crazy because in early education, once you qualify for like the older end of early education, where you're not in an infant toddler program anymore and you're like 2, and you go to the older program, you get to do what the kids do from 2 to 6, because in some programs there's no difference. They treat a 2-year-old the same way they would treat a 6-year-old because that's the age of the program. In some classes they're just all in there together, some classes they're different. But I know in Montessori they have the kids serve themselves. In some schools they'll have them even make their own food, but they definitely serve themselves. They go walk over or they have it sitting on the table and then they serve themselves on plates. They don't get plastic, they get glass plates and cups and everything. So if it breaks, there's glass and they clean it up. And this is what kids are doing at 2 years old. And then some places they might offer lunch and they'll have family style where they're making their plates, and they're doing this at 2 years old. And I worked in a school at one point, and I would have the 2-year-olds cook and make their own lunch. I would have them grow their own food, cook their own food, and do all this in there too. And I had them build the garden from scratch where they built the planter beds and everything. And I was just commented on this one YouTube page where this woman, she put out a bunch of food on a plate because she said she had to make food for her kids to snack on. And I'm just like, how old are your kids? Why can't they get themselves a snack? Is there something wrong with them? Like where they're severely disabled, like maybe they have Prader-Willi or something, where they might be compulsive eaters and don't know when to stop or something. I was just wondering, because I'm like, why can't your kid get their own food? I know when I was like 2 years old, I had a cabinet where my snacks were, and I could go get whatever I wanted. I had like Cheerios, yogurts, and different things in areas that were designated for me where I can go get snacks or go to the pantry or whatever, because I was 2 and my mom didn't want me to make a big mess. But I had my designated areas, and then by the time I was 4, I had my own appliances. Because I remember when I was 4, I had this sandwich machine. They still make these, and I still have one to this day. Not the same one I had back when I was 4, but I still use that same sandwich thing because I learned how to use it when I was 4. All you do is put in some bread and some cheese or whatever else you want to add in there, and you just close the top and it'll cook it for you. Simple thing. Or to turn on the microwave, just put something in the microwave. I wasn't allowed to do hot liquids because they could spill and I was short, but by the time I was 5, I could use the microwave and stuff. And I'm just wondering, like, some of these kids are like 10, 12, 13, 14, 15 years old, and they can't cook, they can't do anything. And when I was a kid, I was 5 years old, and I would walk myself to school and walk myself back. I didn't need anybody to walk me to school. I could get there. By the time I was 10 years old, I was taking a bus across town to get to school. And it was just like, okay, I'm doing this stuff. And it's like some people that are like teenagers and older when I was a kid, like they couldn't do just like basic simple tasks, and they weren't disabled or anything. And I see this a lot because I still work with kids and different things, and I work with people with disabilities, and like their parents are always trying to stifle them to stop them from learning and growing. And if you go to like a Reggio Emilia school, a Montessori school, and even some play-based schools take up these things, and they teach the kid independence and how to do things and how to cook. And then like some people are like, oh, their kids won't eat. And it's like, oh, that's weird. You say your kid won't eat, but I have your kid eat at school, and I'm not forcing anybody to eat. I'm teaching them recipes and different things where they can prepare it themselves, and they like the food and they eat it. It's like, are you encouraging your kid? Are you having your kid join you and learn to make food so in the future it's good for them? But it was like, I was so surprised that I got so much hate, because I'm like, your kid doesn't have a snack cabinet or anything where they can go in and go pick out a snack. It was like, how old are these children where you're putting food out on a plate? And it's like you have to put out grapes and chips and different things. And then they all kept saying that I was crazy. And it's like, I'm an educator. I work with kids. I've been around way more kids than you have. Kids, they can do a lot at 2 years old. Like, I've worked at nature schools. Like, kids will go out and forage food where they know what food to pick. We teach them what food to pick, how to get it. We'll take them on nature walks and take them on public transportation. And even when I work in elementary schools and stuff, kids, they're like 5, 6 years old. They take the public bus by themselves in a major city to get to school. And even in like some small towns, kids will take a train to get to school and all different things. And it's like, where are these people where they're like, oh, their kid can't do this? And it's like, why do you have such little faith in your children? It's like really sad that, like, why won't you let your children learn and grow? Why are you enabling them? So when they get older, because it's like, they're too, their minds can be molded. They can do so much. And it's just sad to see this, but I don't know where like people are where they're just like against their children from learning. Against their children learning. It's just crazy to me. And then if you ask them questions and it's like, oh, you're crazy. This person's lost their mind. And it's like, I teach 2-year-olds how to garden and build their gardens. Like, when I mean build their gardens, I mean get wood and nails and get a hammer and bang it together and put it together. Or if we don't use a hammer, we might use a thick fabric and a staple gun or something. And I'll help them and show them how to do it. But like in China, that's like basic education. Like, they're building all kind of stuff. They have construction materials and stuff. And when I was a kid, like, I'd go out to the park for hours to go find an abandoned lot and stuff. And like, my dad, he gave me like, he let me use his construction tools. I had like nails and different things and hammers. So I could go to the park and like an abandoned lot or wherever, like a nature place, and go build a tree house and different things with my friends. And it's just like, why are people so enabled and sheltered? It's like, I just really don't like it. It's like, oh, just like let kids be free and learn to their full potential. And it's like, why are you holding your child back? And then it was like the stuff that they were giving their kid, it wasn't even like healthy. It was like, you had like some grapes and like some chips and some stuff. But it was like, how many kids are you feeding, and why do they all have to eat off the same plate? Why can't they pick what they want? Yeah, because at the school I used to work at, I've worked at a lot of schools and I've done gardens and different things because I work as a garden teacher too. And if you've seen my channel, I do a lot of gardening. And I've been teaching kids gardening and building their garden from scratch and then all kinds of stuff. And I teach children cooking, because I start teaching children cooking as young as 2, where we're in the kitchen and we're cooking. And well, we're using knives and forks, spoons, bowls, everything, getting it all together, cooking. And then we're even learning like solar cooking, like in the summer. We'll get like our cookie dough and whatever together, and then we'll do solar cooking. All types of different things, and then we'll make salads and different things because we're growing so much stuff and tons of food. And I even send them home with food if they need it or if they just want to. And it's just sad to see, like, if I comment on a video on YouTube, because I'm like, why can't your kids make their own food? Why? And I make comments on plenty of videos where it's like, I don't understand the enabling with children. And then like I saw this YouTube channel, this other YouTube channel, which was disturbing to me because I work with people with special needs. And it's like, why are they forcing haircuts on children, and not even just children, adults too? it's like, okay, you might want your child to have a haircut, but it's a traumatic experience for them. If they don't want a haircut, don't give them one. Take time, have like a plan and everything in their thing to have them talk about like keeping them calm, use like ABA methods and different things to like keep them calm if they like really need a haircut. But it's like some people don't want a haircut, and it's like, what's wrong with your kid having long hair? What's wrong with your, just like have your kid brush their hair and like slowly work through brushing their hair. But if your kid wants to grow their hair out, let them have long hair. And it was like one kid I saw, his hair was like it looked like it might have been like an inch, if not even 2 inches. But his mother had him, and it looked like he had Down syndrome, and his mother had him go to the place to go get his haircut, and he's like freaking out, screaming on the floor. And it's like, what was the point of this? Just because you didn't want your kid's hair to be a certain length? It was like, why can't you just let him have like a longer haircut, and then like slowly let him grow it to his shoulder or to his ear? And maybe he doesn't want that blade on his head to cut his hair. And it's like, why would you do this? It's just like, let your kid grow his hair out if he wants to. A haircut isn't gonna, like, if the kid had lice or something, it's like I'd understand it, because I know some people that have disabilities, they can't go to the dentist all the time, and they can't go to the doctor all the time because they have to be sedated. And if it was like that bad where he needed a haircut and he had lice or something and he needed to be sedated, it's like, okay, I understand. But it was like, it wasn't a situation like that. And it's like, just let people be who they are and stop trying to force your beliefs and different things on other people, especially people with disabilities. And it just annoys me when I see stuff like that. Because it's like, some people that have disabilities, they're calm, they like to go get a haircut and everything. But then there are other people where they don't want to, that causes anxiety and fear and different things. And if it's not like a health issue and they're washing their hair and they're clean and everything, just because they don't have a buzz cut like you want them to. Because one thing I know that I see often, and this is with Black women with disabilities, if they have severe disabilities and they get put in group homes and stuff, the first thing they do, unless their family is vigilant and they stay around and to check on them often, they shave their head. That's the first thing they do to a Black woman if she goes into a group home. I see that all the time. Yeah, especially in the suburbs where there aren't very many other Black people and no one wants to take care of their hair, their head gets shaved. I just see so many things that I don't like. And it's like weird because like I see all these not shows, but these channels with people that identify as, I think, Gen X from the 70s. And I'm not Gen X. I'm much younger than that. But a lot of the experience they say that they had, it's like, I experienced that. I did a lot of stuff, except I never drank from a hose. If I was thirsty, I went home to get something. Yeah, and it was like I would be out all day playing and everything. But like Gen X, they're like, we weren't babied, we weren't all this. And then I listen to these people that are like millennial parents, and I'm just like seeing like they're horrible. And that explains like some of the things I see in schools where it's like you have to work with these children to get them out of these behaviors that are just bad, where some kids, they don't listen, they have all kind of fits and everything because of the way their parents treat them and baby them. And it's like, what's the point of this? But that's the end of this. Maybe I'll do more videos about stuff like this. If you like, watch and subscribe. Bye.